What's up?
Sorry, but we got some breaking news here.
Whoa, what's going on?
Steve Popper just reported Knicks and GM Scott Perry are parting ways with his contract expiring this summer.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Breaking news here. Whoa, Ninja P is out of here.
Holy cow.
Wow. Okay. Hold on. Let's get to this here. Hang on. Salute to everybody in the chat. Breaking news right here on KnicksFanTV. Salute to Steve Popper. Let me get this set up here. Let me figure out the credentials I need to read this thing because it's behind the paywall. Okay, here we go. All right, let's read this. Let's read this together as a family here, shall we? Yeah, let me see. I don't think I need my glasses here. Let me see. Hang on.
Get the bifocals ready. You need them.
All right, here we go. This says Scott Perry arrived as Knicks general manager 2017. All right, this is a whole lot of backstory. We need to just give me the lowdown. Source confirmed that Perry will move on when his contract expires this summer. The legacy will be stability and success in an organization that's rarely seen in 2 decades. Perry joined Steve Mills, providing a veteran basketball man, blah, blah, blah. They assured the exit of Carmelo Anthony. General manager, he drafted RJ, drafted Mitch, signed Julius. Remember they flipped Marcus Morris for IQ before the pick. That became IQ. That was missing here, Steve. Steve missed a good one here. Okay? When Leon Rose arrived as team president, he brought in his own guys. He kept Perry in place, signed him into a contract extension. They got William Wesley. You got Gerson Rosas here. Okay?
Ooh.
After the deal that sent Anthony away for a long, contentious battle between the player and the front office when Jackson was in charge, Perry's biggest deal was a trade that sent Kristaps Porzingis to Dallas. That trade landed the Knicks 2 first-round picks and cleared salary cap space that allowed them to sign Randall, along with other moves to help create the current roster. Okay. So, Ninja P says sayonara. Immediate reaction to this with the news breaking here that Scott Perry will move on after his contract expires this summer. Not really surprised, right? When Leon Rose first came here as the new president, with Perry being here as the general manager, not knowing what the extent of their relationship was prior to this, but you have to expect that every new regime is going to bring in their own guy at some point. I felt like Perry was always going to be the foundation builder, the guy, the transition, part of the transition team, if you will.
Yep.
This is Leon's 3rd year. He's going into his third off season. They brought in Gerson Rosas last offseason. Gerson Rosas, as we know, was the man who was the point person for the Mitchell trade negotiations. And so it's not a shock that Perry's going to move on after this. I felt like his name had come up in other GM openings over the last few years as well.
Mm-hmm.
So not shocking. Not shocking. Overall, I thought he had an okay tenure here. They didn't mortgage the future.
Yep.
They got the Anthony trade done, after Phil trashed them. The Kristaps deal was okay. We're still waiting to see what that second draft pick turns into. DSJ obviously flopped. Got nothing out of DeAndre Jordan. Wes Matthews was nothing to write home about. But the Marcus Morris trade, they did bring in Marcus Morris on a 1-year deal. He played very well for the Knicks, played extremely well for the Knicks. He was, to me, their best player when they got him. And that was good enough to trade him at the trade deadline to the Clippers for draft considerations. They were able to use those draft considerations to ultimately, through other dealings, land Emmanuel Quickley, who placed second in NBA Sixth Man of the Year voting this year.
Look, you gotta give credit to Scott Perry for what he inherited when he joined this team. You think about the immediate firing of Phil Jackson. You had Steve Mills, and then they went out and got Scott Perry that year. Team was in bad shape, man, and he was part of that regime to look at getting short-term contracts to clean up the books. He still had Noah's contract on the books with his team. And it was a lot of hard work, man, to figure out how to put this team in the right direction. And you just think about where it started to where it is now. And he, as you said, he did an okay job. There was nothing that really stands off the resume saying, wow, he did this, but it's a step in the right direction towards what's the word? It's not what's the word I'm looking for? I guess stability. Yeah. Stability. Definitely stability. He just didn't do anything like too great or wrong. Like it was just neutral, man. He was just neutral in his dealings, and that's good for a team that has been in headlines, that was ran poorly for so many years, that had to come out and figure out how to be relevant again, especially after you saw Phil Jackson give Melo nothing to be successful with. So to see that he got here, probably his best draft pick under Stephen Mills was definitely RJ. Under the new regime, he was part of the selection of Quickly, Grimes, all those guys. But ever since Leon Rose has gotten here, I've always questioned how much say did he actually have in these negotiations? How much was he relied on by Leon Rose and the remaining staff? Even when he got extended, it just seemed like he was there just so there wasn't that much turnover. Right? Mm-hmm. Just so that there was some familiarity in the offices. Leon Rose coming in, he's never done this job before. Sure, you're bringing guys like Walt Perrin, Zanin, Brock Aller, all these guys. You bring in all these guys, but they're not familiar with the organization. So having Scott Perry there, he's like, look, this is what this media is. Well, he can tell you what the media outlet is. He could tell you what the city is about. Can give you an idea of like the landscape of like, this is what this roster is built like. But at this point, since it's now under Leon's tenure, the team is so far removed from what Perry has inherited and what he was overseeing that for Rose, if you're like, okay, this is the time to make a change, we got it in a stable place and we can promote somebody within, you're at that point now. I mean, look, you said Rosas was the one doing the negotiations, right?
Right.
Interesting that you didn't hear about Perry's name really involved in those negotiations, and that's your GM.
Yeah.
So you look at that, I think the writing was on the wall, as you said, but it was just good for that time just to have not too much turnover and someone stable in that position for continuity purposes.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, during this time here, they didn't mess things up, which we could start there. They didn't mess things up. That's a win. That's a win. They didn't trade away the farm. Drafted RJ at 3. Mitch, second round. Big pickup. Mitch is already on his second contract. You have a second rounder. Your anchor in the middle on his second deal.
That's true.
Now, all those good things. He provided stability. I like his Monday motivation tweets. I like those. When Perry puts out those tweets, gets my days going. They're very, very important. He's a leader. He's a good man. I like Perry. The Kevin Knox draft.
Oh, man.
Come on, Scott. Listen, man, we got to take the good with the bad. Right?
Yeah, this is true.
We just praised him for 5 minutes. The Kevin Knox draft pick. Look, not every GM's not going to bat 1,000. We understand that. But Kevin Knox. Come on, Scott. We're looking at Mikal Bridges, star shining brightly in Brooklyn. The wrong place in New York. He should have been here. Easy slam dunk. Stevie Wonder could have made that pick that night. If you want to go a little bit more risky, see, like the Porter Jr. thing, I wouldn't have went that way with the way that we were dealing with the Porzingis injury.
Yeah. That revisionist history for MPJ, the Knicks were not in position to take somebody with back issues.
No.
The writing was on the wall for all the storylines for that. And the Knicks messed up by taking the guy with the back issues. He hasn't played this year. He hasn't played that year.
That we couldn't have taken that risk. Now, if you want to say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, sure. Even Miles Bridges before everything happened just now with him. But Kevin Knox. That was bad, Ninja P.
That's bad.
That was bad. Mikal Bridges could have been right here, bro. Right here.
Well, the word I was going to say is competent.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. Competent. That's it. Nothing great, nothing bad, just competent. Yeah. That's how I describe Scott Perry. The Kevin Knox thing, terrible.
Yeah.
But hey, as you said, we got the anchor in the middle. We got RJ, two out of the three guys,
Yeah.
They're out there.
People in the chat
and
are
how do
blaming
you feel about Alonzo Trier?
Yeah. ISO Zo. They gave birth to the ISO Zo hive for a quick season. Undrafted. Buckets.
Yeah, I was part of that hive.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. So yeah, look, I think it was more okay than bad. And we wish him well, man. Shout out to Ninja P, man. Saw him at plenty of games. I saw him recently game 2. I was at Cleveland. He was with the whole regime. They were all sitting together. And so he was working up until the end. So shout out to Scott Perry, man. Thanks for your services.